So last week I shot a video showing the meager beginnings of our little off-grid septic system. And unfortunately I kind of left everybody hanging. And that wasn't my intention, it's just that it wasn't ready yet. I just wanted to get the party started and show everybody kind of the initial phases of it, the beginning, and today I'm going to show you the end. We're at least really close to the end. You see, right now the system is in and it's open. And by open, what I mean is they're not allowed to cover everything up until a rep from the DEQ gets out here, and that's supposed to happen this coming Monday. Give their thumbs up, and then they can go ahead and cover everything up, and then the septic is ready to rock and roll. So today, what I'm here to do is just kind of show you how everything turned out, and also to answer some of the questions that I had, like, how big is the septic tank that's going to be put in? Stay tuned, and I'll show you how everything went. Okay, well, last week what I showed you here was this basic septic leach field, or at that point what was to become the basic septic leach field. And at that point all they had really done is just cleared the way for all these lateral lines to go ahead and be installed. Well, as you can see, they're now installed. And man, what a mess. But it's all good, because it's going to end up looking amazing when it's done, and you won't even know any of this is here. Matter of fact, a year from now, you wouldn't even know that this had ever happened. So at this point, what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and give you a little bit of a tour and show you how all this stuff here works. If a septic system has a heart and a soul, that tank right there has got to be it. Folks, that is a 1,000-gallon concrete tank, and last week when we were talking about this, I was kind of wondering, how big is that tank going to be? And I had no idea, but I did see some footage of it getting unloaded on the truck, and it was pretty good sized. At least it looked huge on the truck. Now, I didn't use anything like a tape measure. I just paced it off, and it's about 6 foot wide and 8 feet long. How tall it is, I have no idea, because as you could see, it's now sitting in the ground, and it's got basically packed in there using a layer of shale. It all starts right there, and that's where the plumbing stub out from the house comes out. Shortly after it exits the building, there's a two-way clean out there, so you could either clean it out going into the building or over here towards the septic. Awesome to have. Now again, that tank is massive. I don't have any idea how much that thing weighs, but it has got to weigh thousands of pounds. It is concrete. It is sitting in the hole, and although it's not covered, it's braced in there using what appears to be a pretty packed in layer of shale going around the edges here. My understanding about these tanks is they've got a divider in the middle, and I don't know if this one does for sure, but I suspect that it does. Here is the exit pipe coming out of the tank, and where this goes from here is out into that septic leach field. Now, in terms of where he placed this at, I couldn't have asked for better placement. I'm really happy he put it where he did, because it's out of sight, out of mind. Once it gets a thin layer of dirt on it, it's really not going to be something that you'll notice, but it is easily serviceable, meaning if we ever have to have this thing emptied, we'll be able to back it up where that water trailer is over there. We'll be able to back up the pump truck and easily get to that septic tank. Ease of use when you're planning this stuff is probably one of the best things you could ever plan. But let's go out here into the forest floor and take a look at this old leach field here. Now, one thing that Semper Fi Services did that I think is pretty impressive is there is no shortage of cleanouts here. You can see one right there, and then there's also at the end of each run, and we'll see this here in a second, you can see those little green pipes sticking out of the ground. There's also access to it down there as well. That will help you locate your lines should you ever need to. So basically, the pipe runs from that septic tank, runs down underneath the ground here, out right there, and then it splits off into 3 separate lines. Each line, I think, is about 80 feet long. So you've got line number 1, number 2, and then number 3 further on down the line right there. And the way it looks like it's designed is if line number 1 here gets saturated in water, the water will continue to run down to number 2. Same thing. If it gets saturated, it runs down to line number 3. Now, I don't know that for sure, but that does appear to be the way that it's designed. Moving on out here into the rest of the forest floor, you can see that These trenches are pretty deep and there's a lot of dirt piled up around them. I do believe he's going to end up covering all that with the existing dirt. Initially, I thought that he was going to put shale on top, but I don't think that's going to be the case. One side benefit of having this put out here is this little walkway I'm walking on almost looks like a driveway, and they had to be able to get their machines back here, so in a sense I got somewhat of a free driveway cut going out here to the end of the property. Now, will I use it? I don't know. If nothing else, it'll be a walkway, but absolutely I'll use it, and it's just an extra benefit here. I don't think it was planned, but I'm pretty excited about it. There's a few things that this septic company did, from what I can gather, a little bit different than some do. Each one of these lateral lines is covered in gravel, and that's that super clean gravel which I showed on the last video. One thing that he's done here that I've actually never seen done before, there's a white cloth that is sitting on top of that gravel, and it covers the entire run of septic. At first I had no idea what that was about, and Sam told me on the phone, but I wasn't entirely following him, so I didn't understand what he was talking about until today. Basically, over time, the ground will move, the ground will vibrate, and over time, that super clean gravel that covers that septic line, it will get infiltrated with dirt, with mud. Over 15, 20, 30, 40 years or whatever, those septic lines will eventually start to clog with the dirt that washes down into that gravel. However, by putting that cloth on there, it may not look like much, but what that does is turns this into from probably a 30-year system to a 50-year system. That simple piece of cloth right there slows down the degradation process dramatically. A guy I used to work with once told me, he said, man, the difference between a good job and an excellent job is typically about 10 minutes. And I think it probably took a little bit more than 10 minutes to throw that cloth down, and it certainly wasn't necessary. But it's one of those things that takes a great job and makes it a superb job. Now, down here at the end of all three runs, each one of these has a little, well, what it appears to be is a clean out, but I don't think it's a clean out. However, it is access to the septic line, and for that matter, it's a locator. Like I said earlier, if you need to locate your lines, you could look down and see these pipes sticking out, and we may end up trimming them down. We may end up putting some cover over them or painting them brown. That way they kind of blend in with the atmosphere. But once again, that's the difference between a good job and a great job, are little things like this. Standing down here at the end of the run looking towards the cabin, you really get a feel for how big this little project has turned out to be. Again, these are about 80 feet long each, so we've got approximately 240 feet of lateral line running, and man, lots of carnage. However, once they get all this backfilled, you're not going to see any of that, and it's just going to look suspiciously like just a forest floor. So I got a bonus access road cut over there, but also, by the time this is all backfilled, you have to understand this forest floor, all these boulders that were shoved off to the side, you couldn't walk 3 steps without tripping over at least one, maybe even all of them. It was pretty bad. But now all that has been basically shoved off to the side. So once this is graded out, this all becomes usable property. I'm super, super stoked at that because if nothing else, even if we don't use it, it looks amazing. It's going to just drastically change the way that the whole place feels, having that space that's wide open now. Just for grins, let's do the Johnny Cash thing here and walk the line. Let's take a look at these lines up just a little bit closer. I saw basically my camera trail footage, and I saw them placing these lines onto the dirt floor. They spaced those up with other pieces of PVC and then backfilled gravel. So that line right there goes down into the center core of that gravel, and then that's where that septic line runs, and it runs all the way over to the tank. Let's take a walk. Let's see how this is done. Let's see if we can get this cap off of here. Okay, that's not going to come. I was able to pull this cap off so you could look kind of down into that pipe, and there's really not a whole lot to see. All you're seeing, even if you could, is just where it turns and goes and makes a 90-degree angle and goes up to the tank. It's pretty cool that the access is here. So here we go. Let's walk the line. Once again, this mat, it just covers the gravel that's underneath of it. And here we go. It looks like, there's probably about 8 inches of backfill that they're going to have to do on all these lines. But the good news is the dirt is definitely here. All right, this is kind of interesting. Once again, that little clean out right there, that's where the line comes in. It goes down, that's where the first line runs. It travels down a little bit more. Here's the second line. Then it goes all the way over to the third line. It's amazing how simple this system really is. Pretty dang cool, actually. Now, come Monday, we're going to be able to tie this up. As a matter of fact, I'll be writing a final check to the septic company, and their work is done here, and then it's on me to go ahead and plumb the house over into the stub out. I can't wait until we've got something as simple as a flushable toilet. These camp potties, man, they're for the birds. I mean, yeah, they work, but they're gross. They're inconvenient, and there's nothing about it that feels natural. Now, once again, I wanted to remind you of the last video that I shot. And one of my concerns was having to be able to do a classic style septic system where you just have a septic tank and then lines that run off into the leach field. The reason we had to have that was we don't have electricity out here. You know, using one of those little septic systems where it spurts water out of the little sprinkler heads, man, I can't wrap my head around it. It's just gross to me. I don't like the idea. But two, even if I wanted to use that, we really can't do that here because we don't have electricity out here all the time. We only have it here while we've brought our ABOC generator or a regular gas generator. The good news, however, is they were able to use that style of system, and I'm extremely happy about that. Once all this carnage has gone away and it's out of sight, out of mind, and all we've left with is just a functional septic system, it's gonna seem like a slice of heaven considering what we've been doing up to this point. So, last week when Sam was out here, we agreed that he was going to do a few extra things for us, and man, he did, and they turned out fantastic. Let me show you what those were. First thing that he did was to go ahead and these are in no particular order, by the way, but the first thing that I'm going to show you that he did was dug this trench from the house over to where the little propane tank is going to sit. Now that little area right there may not look like a whole lot, but that's just some shale that Sam packed into place, and that is where the propane tank is going to end up sitting at. It's going to route underground, go down that, up to the side of the house, and then that's where we'll go ahead and take it from there. I'll have, I believe, J Gas do that. I'm going to give them a call at some point in the near future, but for right now, the pad is definitely there. It looks loose, but man, that is about as stiff as concrete when you walk on it. Something really cool, and I wasn't expecting it, but looking at that hill right there, compared to what it looked like, it actually used to look like that. And now he's got it cut down and leveled out, and it looks amazing. It's really easy to walk up. It looks great. It's easy on the eyes, and I was not expecting him to do that. That was an added plus. Right now, though, still super soaked about that little propane tank pad, and also a little bit of dirt work that he did on the hill, which once again was not planned. This guy just always seems to add something else for the value you're getting. And I said it before, but very much appreciated. So at the end of all this, we had a large pile of gravel left over in our driveway, and he got a hold of me and asked me what we wanted him to do with that, if he wanted to do anything in particular, leave it alone, or just spread it around. And I told him, man, just do whatever you think will look the best, but it would be cool to have a little pad to park the Jeep on. And he did that, man. He not only did it, but he made sure it was all square. It was shoved up against the cabin, and he gave us a nice clean area to walk right beside the Jeep, behind the Jeep, in front of the Jeep, and all the way over here to the stairs. Super cool. Once again, I would have been happy just grading this out over the dirt. No particular rhyme or reason, but I could tell just by the way this guy works that he is not a just get it done kind of guy. He's very surgical with what he does, and I could see that he takes pride in it. One of the things, or one of the biggest things that I was wanting him to do was to clear out some of this nasty, nasty brush that we've got hanging over the side of this little cliff here. These, I believe he has moved. If I'm thinking correctly, I think he's drug them up higher onto this hill, and I think he might be planning on burning those here where they sit. I don't know for sure, but I'll show you where he did the last fire, and I'll show you what's left of it. This is a game changer. When we stood up here before, you could not see the forest floor. You could see that large ash pile in front of us, and all that was covered in brush and debris. I think what he ended up doing was moving all that out of the way because that burn was a pretty good sized burn. So he probably, this is a side benefit of what he did here, but look at that forest floor. That is absolutely astounding. It's going to be hard for me not to want the entire area like that. probably going to end up talking to him and find out what his intentions are as far as burning the rest of this and what it's going to take to make all this area over here look like this area over here. All that brush over there, and I think he just hasn't got to that yet, but everything that you're seeing all around me here has been cleaned out radically, and it looks so much better. Walking around on the forest floor out here now is actually doable without tripping or getting scratched up by the brush. So cool, and I cannot wait to do a little bit more out here, or to recruit his services to do a little bit more to where all that over there is a little bit more open, kind of like this area here is. So yeah, between what he's done out here on the forest floor, the septic leach field, the bonus road, the pad for the propane tank, the ditch, the dirt work behind the cabin. This is so much work in such a small amount of time, and it has given me so much motivation because, man, honestly, all these sticks and debris down here, they had me pretty bummed out. And the reason they did is because I just knew what it was going to take in order to get them cleaned up, or at least I knew what it was going to take me. With the correct equipment, however, I don't think it was all that difficult for him. I might be downplaying that fire just a little bit. If you could have seen that, holy cow, that was massive. Now, getting accurate video footage that shows land has always been a challenge for me. But I wanted to show me standing down here on the forest floor just to kind of give you an idea how big of an area that Sam actually cleared out here and how well that it turned out. I'm impressed and I'm motivated. I'm excited. I'm ready to continue on. And this is just land work. We haven't even started getting to the cabin yet. This is just all septic and outdoorsy stuff. Odds are we're going to do a little bit more out here on the property, but the focus from this point forward is going to be with framing some walls and also running some plumbing. Well, folks, I hope you've enjoyed this little check-in and this little progress updated here on our little off-grid cabin. If it's something you're interested in, go ahead and like and subscribe. We're going to be doing a lot more of these videos in the future. This is one of the bigger projects we're going to do, but we've managed to get the funds together to do it, so we're really happy to have at least this massive step finished up. Keep watching, though, for more videos. We're going to be, obviously, the next phase, we're going to be putting some walls up in the cabin. Once the walls are in, restrooms next. Walls are great to have for privacy, restrooms great to have for a whole array of reasons. But keep watching. I hope I see you there. Happy adventures, folks, and y'all take care.